do they feel about you? Specific person edition. Okay, in a minute I'm going to show you 3 cards and they're going to have images on them, okay? Don't cheat yourself and don't try too hard. Just go with the first one that speaks to you in any way, okay? Then I've put timestamps for number 1, number 2, number 3. Scooch to your timestamps, get your answers. We're going to be digging, we're going to be channeling, we're going to be finding itsy bitsy grainy little detail and just getting you answers, getting you information and the best way forward. And if there's anything that you can't see, or if there's something that you can see but not until now, okay? Ready for the cards? Don't overthink it. Number 1, mirroring. Number 2, reciprocity. Number 3, divine timing. You should know by now, okay? Go and have a look at the timestamps. I'll see you on the other side. Namaste. Hello, number 1. Okay, so you chose mirroring. This is a really interesting card. It's also a very beautiful card. I want to have a little dig around first of all in what brought you here. Okay, it's a very broad question to ask, but it's what brought you here? You and this person, this specific person that you're inquiring about, what brought you here? What got you there? What brought you here? Divine masculine. Let's just zhuzh that up a little bit. Nice. Okay. That card, that feels awkward. Why does that feel awkward? Oof. This card does not want to come out. Oh my god. Lonely. No wonder it didn't want to come out. Okay. Nope. And spiritual gel. Oh my god. Number 1. Okay. I can tell it's a lot already before we've even started. So, see if I can get my camera straight. You and somebody else are mirroring each other's shadow side. We've got divine masculine here. We've got a certain sense of loneliness. So you may be in separation from this person, or you may be weirdly like mirroring each other but not necessarily in full contact with each other. Can you see in this card there is this sort of space in between, and the space in itself, it almost looks like a stream or a river between these two people, and it feels like a kind of, I feel like water is important, so I feel like streams, rivers, waterways, all that kind of stuff may even physically be important. But also this is like a stream of consciousness. And then you get this spiritual journey. And these, well, I'm going to say these kind of relationships, but what do I mean by that? The kind of relationship where you could not necessarily easily explain this to somebody else. You may have a lot of difficulty explaining this even to yourself or to the other person, never mind to someone else. This is a relationship that holds a lot of challenges. I can just kind of feel that. It feels like the timing of this relationship shifts almost in a shape-shifty, time-shifty kind of a way. And both of you are not always ready at the same time. Sometimes I think when you're ready, they're not ready. When they're ready, you're not ready. There's a strong divine masculine here, but a lonely divine masculine as well. And it feels like you are, if there was light and darkness or sun and moon, you are the light and they are the darker side. You are the sun and they are the moon. There's something subconscious here. I'm just going to take one of these massive shadow cards. Let's have a massive shadow card, please. Oh, I love that. I love this card. Okay. This is the El Goliath Tarot, the Nine of Cups. Fill your bill. Fill your beak. When you get the Nine of Cups, it's what your heart's desire is. And it's very genuinely, there's no kind of right or wrong. It's not what should you want, what ought you to want, what's the sensible choice. It's what does the heart want. And just as much as this bird wants fish, your heart wants this person. I feel like this is mutual because it's mirrored, but mutual mirrored is it's just a difficult combination. You know, I'm going to put that one there because it's so big, but we can see what it is. Right. Let's flip a few tarot cards for you as well. This is a unique connection that you have with this person. You may have also been drawn to the flame card as well. Okay, tell us please about the present. So the past that has brought you here first, there are periods of isolation, there are periods of time mismatch, and there are periods where maybe if you spend time with this person, just going to shuffle that across there, you may find that time either goes very quickly or very slowly. You know that you lose time with this person. And that's always the sign that you're not completely in the 3D with this person as well. Yeah. That's interesting. As is that. These are the cards I'm taking for the present. Oh, I like that. Okay. The relationship probably had an unusual beginning, and it was probably a messy beginning. It's a relationship that will never probably have clean lines. And if you're a person that really needs things to be on a schedule, you know, that needs things to be squared away, organised, guaranteed, I don't think this would be for you. As in, I'm not saying there's not the attraction, but I think it may drive you insane because this relationship has a certain amount of chaos attached to it that I'm picking up on. That is, frankly, probably a whole lot of, I don't know, it's quite exciting or passionate. You know, there's definitely some psychological chemistry between you and this person. And also there's a spiritual, I keep getting like a map, but it's like a blank map, which is weird. There's like a spiritual map with you and this person that is very difficult to graph or to plot or to evidence or to tell somebody. At present, we've got the Two of Swords. Can you tune in, camera? Go on. My camera sometimes gets a bit weird. Two of Swords. The Two of Swords, the person has a blindfold on. There's two swords and there is a sense in which you can't see which way to go. You can't see which way is next. Now, with the Two of Swords, I always think of it that there is a third way. That's an Ace of Swords. That's an Ace of Swords. Both of these are a good idea. Both of these are a valid argument. Both of these are a side to this relationship. Both of these could even be a timeline for this relationship. But there is a third way that kind of, I always think of it developing behind this person's head that has not been revealed to you yet. I'm also getting, which I get sometimes, the light up stepping stones that only come to you when you make a move forward, which is very difficult, because if you think of it in terms of wanting to feel safe, you know, wanting your steps to be guaranteed, it would be like, well, I know that if the step's there, I'll take it. But this is like, the step comes because the step appears because you took a step. I know, it's weird. It's like almost quantum, where as you step out, the step is created and appears, which is why you can't see it in the way that you would want to. Now, you may be somebody, if you are quite carefree, and I'm not saying you should be, because that's a difficult but brilliant way to be, and I'm not that way myself, but if you're carefree and fly by the seat of your pants, you're not going to have too much trouble with this connection. The way that they feel about you is that you are like them, that there is a mirroring, that they can see themselves in you, that they feel you and them are on the same kind of quite weird to other people timeline. It feels as well as if they have, with this divine masculine card coming in, it feels like they have very definite thoughts. If they have told themselves something, or if they have told you something, they're going to stick to it. And it feels, this feels a bit isolated. It feels like they feel isolated, which is strange. It feels like some sort of cut-off, and I don't know why. I'll come back to that. We then have the Three of Wands, which I really like, because the Three of Wands is a card that talks about moving forward. You know, it's fire energy. What can we do now? Where can we go in the future? But it's done with wands. It's not cerebral. It's not planning it out. And there is literally no aspect of planning in this relationship. And I don't know if there ever will be. Then we have the Fool, Major Arcana, which I'm really, really pleased to see for you, because the Fool is like the beginning of a new journey. It's the Zero card. But the reason that the Fool is the beginning of the Major Arcana, and normally has someone, you know, who's kind of, and don't do this, jumping off a cliff, you know, or about to take a leap into the unknown, basically. And the dog is like, oh, are you sure about this? And it's a leap of faith. And the Fool in the Major Arcana is the 0 instead of the 1 for a reason. So the Magician is 1, the Fool is 0. The Fool has no number. It's like, you don't know what's going to happen. I have no guarantee for you. I have no hint for you. It's a 0. You're literally going from 0 to 1. So there is an invitation here from this person and the connection that you have with this person to move from 0 to 1. But this shadow card here is kind of asking you, and I don't want to sound Benny Hill on this, but what's going to make you contented? What do you want to fill your beak with, you know? Because if you try, and this relationship could potentially have a lot of shape-shifting capacity, okay, for both of you to morph and to mirror each other. But if you try to do it, if you try to fit in with something that you're not actually, that isn't your heart's desire, that isn't your fish, you know, if we called it your fish, it won't hold together. The thing that makes this relationship special, that could make this relationship really thrive, is the absolute originality of both of you, and both of you refusing to compromise about who you are. And you could probably imagine that could cause a few bumps in the road. But that is the way, that's your vibe with this person. It's not built for comfort in the same way that a sports car isn't. I mean, maybe they are now, but you know, if you went and drove, I don't know, like one of those Jaguar cars, I'm not exactly a car person, any type Jaguar, very beautiful, very elegant, absolute classic car, probably drives like a wooden boat, you know. And this relationship is not easy to drive. It's not built for comfort. It's not easy, full stop. It's not easy. But, yeah. Let me take, I'm going to take a Threads of the Soul card. Tell me what gets brought up by this relationship, please. Love brings up anything unlike itself to be healed from A Course in Miracles. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I like it. Yeah, this is not for the faint-hearted. Let me know in the comments. And if this is resonating, by the way, please do hype the video. You hit the like button, you flick left, 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 and then you can hype. Goodness. Okay. You get the Phoenix rise, or the Phoenix's rise. Oh my God. What has been burned away, making space for something new? What transformation are you now stepping into? And of course, this is the Fool. This is you stepping into something. I feel like there's going to be an invitation from this person. I feel like it's not going to be a straightforward one. It feels kind of quirky. I don't think it's that unusual. I'm just digging in my box because there's a deck that I want. I don't think it's that unusual for this person to be quirky in the way that they communicate with you. And that would maybe include like telepathy and all kinds of that sort of shenanigan. Okay? You got to be down for that. And I think you are. Even if you don't think you are, I think you probably are. Let's just take a card for that. Communication, this person reaching out, please. There will be an extended reading for each one, for number 1, number 2, number 3, and I also do all 3 together as a special discount bundle, just because some people are attracted to 1, 2 and 3 with different questions or different ideas. In the extended reading, we do some really kind of personal channeling, more along the lines of a personal reading. And oh, that's interesting. And we get into the nitty gritty and go deeper. You got mending. Oof. For your communication from this person, this reaching out. And I don't know why my camera's being so weird about it either. Let's see if I can do that. And sometimes it makes it, yeah, there we are. You get mending. Interesting. This looks like a reconnection to me. You may already be disconnected from this person. It looks like it can be an apology, because mending is like mending, making a bridge, you know. I like it when it's mending because it's not, we can make this perfect. It's like, we can darn this, we can sew this together, we can put this back together. This is a relationship that's more of a mosaic. And some of you may be people who enjoy, I mean, I'm very unartistic in this way, but, you know, decoupage or mosaics or jewellery making. One of you definitely does beading, because I'm getting mad, and you must say hello to me in the comments, because otherwise I'm going to think I'm nuts. I'm getting beading. God, that's weird. Like, proper, like you can do it properly. For me, that just means you're good at it, because I'm so shit at stuff like that. So there's something here about someone reaching out, but also this Phoenix is here. This is not an easy leap to make for you. It might have been a while since you spoke to this person, or a while since you were with this person. It feels as if it's a leap of faith that they're asking you to make. And it's almost with this mirroring, and this is weird, and I'll be interested in the extended reading to see if the Fool comes out again. But it's almost like you're both taking a leap, and they've got their hand out, and it's like, do you trust me? Are you with me? Shall we take this leap? You know? Not literally, don't go leaping off anything. Okay. Tell me a little bit more, please. Oh, hello. Okay. Some fell on the floor, so we're going to look at them. We get here and now. There's something about timelines with this person that is so weird that only the two of you can understand it. But there's also a need for you, when this person communicates, to be very much in the here and now. And to not be focused on the past. Not to say you ignore what's happened in the past, because we should never do that. The past is a very important indicator for the future. But just for a moment, I'm just trying to make room for my cards. Oops. Just for a moment. Yes! Sorry, I've just got to show you what fell on the floor here. 5D. Oh my God. Sorry, just had to. We get truth, trust me, and 5D. So important. Stick them there. Sorry. Yeah. There's going to be a time when you want to spiral backwards or spiral forwards. I think it's when they reach out and communicate with you, and you should try and be in the here and now. Because that's actually what's going to matter. You also get no place like home. This person will always feel like home to you. That does not always mean you need to be with them. You have a choice with this, and it's very important that you make that choice authentically. It's very important for some of you as well that you actually acknowledge and feel that you have a choice. We get not for you. For some of you, it won't be for you. Literally. You're like, chess is a very interesting game. Not one that I can be asked to play these days, you know? This is a complex connection. This person feels for you how you feel for them. You mirror each other's timelines, each other's feelings. It's some kind of, and I will look as well in the extended reading, there is some element of healing and a spirituality, a kind of bridging of a gap as well in there. It makes it quite complicated. You must fill your beak with what you want, okay? You mustn't overthink it, but at the same time, if it feels like it's not for you, you're out. It's not for you. They will always feel like home, but that doesn't mean you have to be with them. And then we get round and round. The timeline of this relationship is not linear. It's definitely a spiral, okay? It can spiral up and it can spiral down, as you probably well know from what I'm kind of picking up from you. Okay, in the extended reading, I'm going to look more into the truth, into the 5D. I'm going to look more into channeled messages about divine masculine. What is your best move? And also, we're just going to get into the weird and the wonderful. I like to go deeper in the extended reading and just give specifics. And if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not for you, you'll know. But I'm getting quite a lot of specific things in terms, especially the beading. That is so weird. And I feel that there's more to pick up. Okay, and we're going to use, obviously, different love oracle decks, different tarot decks, to clarify probably the Fool as well, because I really want to know about that leap of faith, and also the mending card. What are their feelings in terms of reaching out and apologising? Woof. It's a lot. So the link to this extended reading and the one for number 2 and number 3, they are all in the description box of the YouTube video, okay? You can get all 3. It's a really good discount if you do. It depends whether one appealed to you or whether they all did. But I'll leave that with you, and I will see you on the other side. Namaste. Hello, number 2. I wondered who it was that was going to choose the flame. I know, this was such a powerful card, such a powerful image. Reciprocity, okay? And it's like this 2 flames becoming one. It has lots of different meanings, but I want to pull a couple of other cards to go next to it. This one was shouting out to me first of all, which says, know your worth. Interesting. And let's take one more of these, and then I have a certain tarot deck that I know is going to be right for you. Oof. Shattered. This is when truth or illusion is shattered. There's a lot going on here, as I thought there would be. Because of the power of the card when I saw it, I was a bit like, oof. I wonder who's going to have the balls to choose that one. And it's you lot. It is you lot. So, tell me more about knowing your worth in this connection. Knowing your worth. Let's just put these 3 in the corner, and I'm going to take a couple of cards, a couple of tarot. I'm using the Nightshade Tarot because I feel like it's bordering on shadow. Oh yes, the Fool. Let's just zoom in a little bit more while we're here. The Fool. Love the dog in that card. I think it's called a Dachshund. So gorgeous. And what else do we need to know? Oh my God. Go big or go home. We also get Judgment. You may have been attracted to card number 1. And this one. Oh my God. I love this. I love this for you. Right, I'm going to shove those up there because I want to just zoom in on these 3. And then we'll look at those again. We'll come back to them. But these are so beautiful, and you've chosen such gorgeous cards. So congratulations to you. And, of course, 3 out of 3 major arcana. Woof. So, how do they feel about you? What is going on between you and this person? Where are we at with this feeling of reciprocity? We've got the red candles here that symbolise love. It's what people use when they're doing love spells. We've got 2 flames that are touching. We've got a merging here of the 2. And then we've also got the Fool, which is telling us there is some kind of new beginning here. It feels to me quite nice, if that's the right word. It feels optimistic, and it feels healthy as it stands. Okay, I'll do my best to ruin that with some shadow cards, don't you worry. But it feels free, and it feels optimistic, and it feels right. But then, if you think about the Fool card as you moving forward, it's like a leap of faith because it's 0. It's a numberless card that begins the major arcana. Think of 20, which is the second to the end. The only card after this is the World. You get Judgment, and this pulls you back. So, why do you have go forward, take a leap of faith, you know, it's 0, have faith in this, and then look back, look back, look back, because there's something that you need to see. And then we have this very beautiful Sun card. The Sun, which is the card just before Judgment. So look back, and that's interesting because if you were to look back, it would go 20 to 19. How weird is that? So let's put them in that order, actually. It feels like, and this might already have happened to a certain extent with this Fool card, there may have already been a leap of faith. So the way that you came into contact with this person may have been quite, and again, this is why I think you might have been attracted to number 1. It may have been quite sudden, a little bit left field, a little bit unexpected, just a little bit unusual, a bit eccentric, but I like it. But then this idea of getting so far and then knowing that there's something you need to look back on. You need to look back at this thing. I want to clarify this, and I'm just going to take one of these Threads of the Soul cards. So that tarot deck, by the way, that I used, in case anyone asks, everyone does, is the Nightshade Tarot. Right, let me take one of these and see. I want to know what's behind this. Why do we need to look back in this connection? Why is there a backward glance? I call Judgment the Back to the Future card. Oh, this card. We get the Tower. Are you isolated or trapped by anything? What keeps you in this place? How can you climb down? Okay, so this may be the rules about this relationship that were set up in the beginning. This might just be the way that you feel about something. I want to take a second card to go with it. It's that one. Oh God. And you get the Hero's Trial. What current challenge is testing your strength? What will overcoming it teach you? You need to move beyond something. And I'm not entirely sure that it actually relates exactly to this relationship or to all the relationships you've had, or even to your past self. There's something here that keeps you in a certain position. Tell me more about the other person, please. Tell me more about the other person and where they're at. Tell me about the other person and what's happening with them. Okay, for the other person, I get the Two of Wands. So they're making a decision. I get the Page of Wands, which is also another fire card. Ooh. And I get the Page of Cups. So, we look at you as the Fool here, and then we look at the other person as the Two of Wands in their tighty whities and their bubblegum pink jacket. They're looking out over the horizon. Two of Wands for me is a decision-making card, but it's a decision that's made with fire. So it's not made by a person sort of thinking in an isolated way, should I do this, should I do that? It's more somebody who is in the middle of animated decision making, who's taking one road or another. You also have the Page of Wands, which is the beginning of attraction. You have it for the Sun. So there's definitely attraction here, and there's definitely passion here, and there's definitely a feeling of needing to move it forward, which I like. And then we get the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is a card that comes in when somebody wants to reach out, or they want to say something, or they want to apologise, or they want to make contact. Or if this is somebody that you are kind of in a friendship relationship with, it can be that first time that they dip their toe in the pool and they go over the line. The first text that ends in a kiss, the first whatever it is. It's like early days and small moves, but I like that it's there. And it's interesting, it corresponds here with the Judgment card. There's something here that I don't understand, and I would love you to leave me a comment about how you met this person. It's very important to how the relationship will proceed and how they feel about you, and how, you know, if we were sort of doing a health MOT on this relationship, where it would land on that scale. There's something about how they first contacted you. There's something about how they last contacted you. And there's something about this that is stuck. Tell me about, let me get out my, because I'm going to look at my twin flame deck, okay, because we have this reciprocity card. And, you know, a word about twin flame relationships and what I think of them. I think sometimes that they are misrepresented as, you know, a romantic fairy tale. And in my experience, they are not. They are intense, they can work, but they can also be very challenging because of the way in which you relate to each other. And that's why I think you were probably drawn to number 1, because there was that vibe in there as well. Let me take a couple of these twin flame cards. Now the sun's come out. Strip it off. Right. Let's have a look. Time. Trigger. Whoa. What's this? And a date. I'm looking at the bottom. Okay. And at the bottom we have divine intervention. You may also be attracted to number 3 because there's something here about divine timing. When you met this person, something was off about the timing. And maybe you know what that was, and maybe you don't. We also have this trigger card and we have this date card and divine intervention and the tower, where something is kind of set in an order of rules, or it's set in its ways, or it's stuck in a groove. There's something here about moving beyond limitations. There's also something about your self-esteem and knowing your worth. And then there's this shattered card. I'm going to take a couple of shadow cards on this because this is mysterious. I'm getting channeled messages and they're really coming in weird, which isn't always unusual for me. This may only be for one person and I don't know why it's coming into the reading. I don't know if it relates to your relationship. I don't think it does. I'm getting, and I'm not very good at dogs, a golden retriever for somebody. It may have passed on already, like it was your childhood dog or something like that. I think they're called golden retrievers. They're like a blonde Labrador, aren't they? I don't know why that's coming in. Oh my god. I get the Tower again as a shadow card. What illusions are being shattered in my life? We're on to something. So we have shattered here, okay? Illusions being shattered. The Tower as your shadow card. What illusions are being shattered in my life? How can I embrace upheaval and trust in the process of rebuilding and transformation? There is something in this relationship that is what I call burning down the house. Please don't burn down your house. There's something here, and it could be as well for those of you where this person is an ex or you're in between something with them. It could definitely be the burning down of the old order of things. But it goes deeper than that in layers, number 2. It goes into your own your own experiences. Suddenly I lose my voice while I'm talking to you. Okay. Tell me more about... No, I want another shadow card. Triggers and childhoods. Oof. 10 of Cups, the happy family. Fostering connection. Oh, this is why. Eight of Pentacles, the journey of learning and building and pushing for personal fulfillment. There's something about this relationship which is inviting you to take a leap. We've got this Fool card. And then inviting you to look back after you've leapt. And I'm feeling here, and I don't know why yet, I'm feeling that there is still something within this relationship that has not become clear yet. It's not become apparent. And I don't think it's all the other person. Like, I think there are some things this person has not told you, but I think there are some things that you have not told them. The timing of this relationship has always been challenged by something. It's been challenged by, I don't know, I suppose destiny, for want of a better word. You might have met them at a weird time, like they'd just gone through a breakup, or you had. There's something here about a date which I really quite like, and there's something here also though about you being triggered, and about you being triggered by being isolated or trapped or abandoned or ignored or forgotten. But I also feel like your person has also been through something like that. I'm going to take another one of these Price of Love Oracle cards. This is a very complicated situation. Number 2. That's why you were brave enough to choose the Reciprocity cards, because you're kind of hardcore. This is a lot. You may have an unusual relationship pattern with this person. I'm getting another channeled message, which is also weird. It's like either a leather handbag or some kind of, you know, those, they're almost like a carrying pouch, and then it's got like a sort of, I don't even know how to explain it. And I think I got this in number 1. It's got like a hanging off bit with it with beads on it. And it may be like yellow, green and red stripes or stripy chevrons. Yeah, look, we get redacted coming up. And this is like, I will tell you things, but I will blank things out. This person has passion for you. We've got the Page of Wands, we've got the Page of Cups. But they also have a decision to make about whether to tell you something that may trigger you. They may have already told you bits but left something out. And if that's the case, yeah, look, you get trapped as well, which you had for the Tower. If that's the case, oh, we get love. Isn't that gorgeous? Woohoo! Giddy up. I'll have to hide this one a bit because YouTube doesn't like the old nuddies. Passion. Swing. We already kind of knew that. Just cover up that bit. Okay. Each one of these, number 1, number 2 and number 3, will also have an extended reading. In the extended reading, I do many things, like I do you and them side by side, a bit like I did here, so I go a bit more in depth with that. With yours, I'm going to go a lot more in depth into what is behind the scenes. What do we need to know? Is there something underneath that we haven't been told? What is the secret here? And also, what is holding this back? Because naturally these two flames belong together. But something has been shattered that was an illusion. And knowing your worth is a trigger for you. And self-love is needed, but you may need to leave behind everything you've ever known or believed about yourself, and even maybe about this relationship, in order for it to move forward. I'll also take messages from your person as well, because I think those are going to be extremely interesting. I'm getting also, give me one more chance. Oh yeah, Six of Cups. It's a we belong together kind of, but Six of Cups is such an interesting vibe. What's at the bottom? Two of Pentacles. I don't mind that at all, actually. Juggling. Six of Cups. Yeah, we'll take that one. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ten of Cups. I like this. There is something that stands in the way. Like, I do feel with this padlock that there needs to be a key. And I do feel there's a truth that has not been told. I do feel there's a lot of potential here for this Ten of Cups. We've got a shadow Ten of Cups with the Hero's Trial. We've got burning down everything you've ever known, you know, burning down the house, I call that, not literally. We've got the Fool, which is take the leap, but look back. So in other words, there's great potential, there's great passion. The timing that you met under was not right. It was very, very challenging, and the timing of things may continue to be challenging in this relationship. It's triggering some kind of abandonment feeling and a feeling of being trapped for both of you. Then we have date and divine intervention. I'm very interested in that date. Some of you, I don't know if it was a blind date or an internet date or something. There's some kind of happenstance about the date and how you met. But I like that we have the Ten of Cups, and I like that we have this sense of we know each other. You know, it's got a kind of destiny feeling with this Six of Cups. But there are still things to juggle. I'm also going to use Heart of the Fairy Oracle, Brian and Wendy Frood, in the extended reading. So with the extended reading, the link is below in the description box. We get weird in the extended, so we do even more channeled messages. We get channeled messages from your person. We do you and them, we compare your cards side by side, but then we're also going to really, really dig into the truth behind this, because I really feel the truth will set you free, both of you, and it's worth it. If you relate to 1, 2 and 3, or maybe 2 out of the 3, I also do the 3 extended reading bundle, which is at a significant discount. So depending on what you've related to, you may just want to get 1, you may want to get all 3 at the discount, and then you can have a massive binge. Yes. Okay, I'm going to go and do that now. The link is below. Leave me a comment. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being brave enough to go with your intuition on this beautiful, beautiful card. See you on the other side. Namaste. Hello, number 3. Okay, a storm has literally just started, just as I'm doing your reading. I want to take, you've got divine timing, you chose that card. I'm going to say that card is perhaps the coziest. You know, it has this lovely backlight on it. It's got a kind of shimmer. It feels nice with divine timing. I like it. But I'm also detecting it's a very strong reading that's about to occur. And don't ask me why, we're going to find out. Okay. Interesting. I'm taking a few more cards from the Price of Love Oracle. Oof. I'm going to take 5 altogether. And then we're going to hit the tarot. I know, it's like a drinking session. Let's hit the tarot. We're ready. I'm going to put my number 3 up there so I remember. And so you remember. So we both remember. Oof. Oof. If you hear the odd, like, noises, it's because construction is going on around me virtually everywhere I can see. And there's nothing I can do about it. So hopefully it's just going to stay at that level. Okay, let's get into it. Are you ready? Have you got a drink? You may need one. I do love this card. Okay, soulmate recognition. We've got glitter going on in the background. You're the only one who's had this one so far. And I do feel a certain lightness, a certain starriness, maybe even starstruck. You know, when you just really fancy someone, and if they walk into the room, you get butterflies and a real woo type feeling. That probably wasn't the best noise. It's been a while, number 3. It's been a while. But you know what I'm saying, okay? And I feel like saying that this is out there, that this is like an outpost. This is a destination that's already out there. But we have some issues getting there. We do. We have this white flag of surrender. That's really interesting. So someone has to surrender. Someone has to fly the flag. Someone has to say, I surrender to this. And it might be both of you. It might be them. It might be you. Okay, we're going to have a looky-see into that. Then we get interference. This can be external. So it can come from outside. It can come from somebody stirring the pot. It can come, but it can also come from, for want of the better word, number 3, like cosmic waves. You know, the way things are organised in the universe, the way shit goes down. And we don't always understand it as humans. We don't always see the bigger picture. Sometimes we wonder if there even is a bigger picture, and that's a fair shout. So there's some kind of interference in your journey of divine timing to soul recognition, to soulmate recognition. And then we've got the key of detachment. And I find it unusual that this is Crystal Banner. Absolutely love this deck. I find it unusual that she's used the key for detachment. It doesn't, I'm just going to have a quick look as to why. Because for me, a key is more about attachment. Okay. Oh, I like this actually. Fair enough. Releasing the outcome. Welcoming possibility. Granting you the freedom to release yourself. Okay, I see. And to see things. Release attachments to an outcome. Okay, I get it now. A little bit of book learning and we're there. Right, okay, I'm going to take a tarot card for each of these to clarify where we're at. Okay, and we'll take it from there. I'm going to use the Anna K Tarot. If this video has resonated with you, please do give it a hype. You can find the hype button if you're on a phone. You press the like button and then you go swing, 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 swing to the left. And eventually after clip and all the things that you don't understand or use, you'll see hype and you can hype the video. Okay, let's take a card for divine timing. Oh my god, that's such a good card to get for divine timing. Yay! We get the Knight of Cups. It kind of speaks for itself because the Knight of Cups, of course, looks a bit dark, doesn't it? The Knight of Cups is about the offer, someone bringing something, someone making you an offer, someone putting themselves forward. And when you get the Knight, and you may get the Page somewhere else in this reading, when you get the Knight, it's kind of, for want of a better word, the proposal, whether it's marriage, whether it's just, you know, will you be my boo thang? Where did that even come from? I was trying to think of a kind of whatever people, I'm so old, I'm so out of the game. You know, will you be my sweetheart? Let's just call it that, nice and simple. Will you marry me? Will you move in with me? Can we be exclusive? Do you want to go on a date? Any of these things are Knight of Cups territory. Knight of Cups has moved on from the Page, got himself a decent suit, in this case a velvet cloak, and some very good looking. I do love a dark red rose, I have to say. You know, a decent posy of dark red roses. He's probably put a bit of Paco Rabanne on. You know, he's done his moustache hair and all that jazz. He's showing up good. And we've got it for divine timing. Yay us, number 3. High five. What do we get for soulmate recognition? I'm a bit worried about this one, to be fair. Yeah. And I was right to be. Okay. We get the Ten of Wands. Somebody's protecting something. This is someone building a wall around their heart, their risk factor, their soul, if we're looking at soulmate recognition. Someone's a bit of a scaredy cat, let's put it that way. I would also say, to be fair, you know, looking at it from the other side, or as my friend used to call it, the devil's avocado, it may also be the universe throwing things in the way of it. And there will be a reason for that, and we will have a look at that reason as well. This feels, because I'm getting interrupted, you know, like that film with Winona Ryder. I'm getting that kind of, this is like lovely soulmate energy, glitter, unicorns, yeehaw. I'm also picking up that you and this person are pretty well connected. You know, whether you're actually with them or not, whether you are in the 3D with them or not, there's this kind of sparkly, high feeling of, you know, yeah, butterflies and unicorns and glitter and, sort of, there's a wow factor is what I'm trying to say. It's like, kind of unstoppable, and yet it's being interrupted. That's incredibly frustrating, and I totally get that. Incredibly frustrating. The surrender, I feel, is like this Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands comes, it's like the apex of the Wands cards, and it comes along when it almost reaches this crisis point that it needs to reach, where it becomes too painful to stay the same. Literally, I mean, you can see this. The person needs to shift, they need to move. Often it's depicted as someone carrying like a bundle of wood. And they've carried and they've carried and they've carried, but they can't carry it anymore. They've got to drop it. And somewhere in that dropping of it is the freedom. There's some feeling here of potential freedom. This, you know, the freedom for this lovely, simple, hand-holding, soulmate recognition, and I want to use the word admitting it. Okay, literally admitting it. I'm getting a channeled image here of a doorman letting people into a nightclub. I know, weird, isn't it? I don't even know if they have doormen on nightclubs anymore because I'm about 150. But this, you know, admittance, come in, welcome. So there's something kind of standing in the way of that. Let's have a look at surrender. There will be an extended love reading, by the way, for all three of these, for number 1, number 2, number 3, and I also do like a bundle on the extended. So if you're attracted to 1, 2 and 3 and you've got some time on your hands and you fancy a binge watch, you can do all 3. And in the extended we do you and your person side by side, but we also do, we go really deep channeled, like we take channeled messages from your person and we look underneath the carpet. Basically, we go looking for clues, we're seeing if they're hiding anything and what is the best way forward. Okay, the weird, the wonderful, with some new decks. Oh my god, this is big. For surrender, you get the 5 of Cups. And the 5 of Cups is almost where it's like giving in to sorrow in a way. And it shouldn't have to be, but it's about someone getting in touch with emotions, someone getting in touch with feelings, actual feelings. And it kind of causes them, the surrender causes them in a way to almost break down, but it's a good thing. Let's just zoom in a bit more so you can see the cards, that's better. It's a good thing. Can you see this? It's almost like a little drama. You know, when you look at these 3 cards, let's just zoom in a bit more on these 3 cards. You've got this, even when they're making the offer, it's kind of serious, kind of difficult looking. And then this is hiding. This is, you know, hiding, containing, resisting, and then giving in, surrendering. The 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups also means coming to terms with feelings. It can be loss, it can be love, but it's coming to terms with it, and it brings somebody down to earth. Whew, there's a lot going on in this attachment. I'd say it was complex. Oh gosh. Oof. Right. Then we have this card, interference. And we have another 5. And remember that in tarot, 5s are disruptors. And you've got interference. And this is the 5 of Swords. The astrological aspect is Venus in Aquarius, which is detachment, weirdly, because you have detachment here. Venus is not very at home in Aquarius. There's this sense of, that's why we've got the sword here as well. Overthinking, detaching, compartmentalizing. If this was somebody's heart, you know, and I keep getting this image for you here of somebody who's built an incredibly well-built wall around their heart. I mean, it's very precise. The bricks are very clean. It's taken a long time for them to build it. I think they do take a lot of pride in it. Also, this can be outside interference in terms of just other people in the game, and you don't know what their stake is, you know? Why is this person so concerned about this relationship? My God. And then for the final one, which is detachment, we get the Knight of Swords. So we begin with this beautiful Knight of Cups for divine timing, which kind of still looks like they've worked very hard to get there, but they've got there, and they've got the nice cloak on, and they've got the flowers ready. And the detachment is exactly who it is, which is the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is the king of attachment. Detachment. Knight of Cups is the Knight of attachment, and the Knight of Swords is the Knight of detachment. Clever, witty, often intellectual, detached. This is a lot. I'm going to use a different deck. What do I want? Yes. Yes, actually, I do want that. I'm going to take a few shadow cards to see what's lurking behind this. Okay, I'm going to put them 1, 2, 3. Maybe 3, maybe 4. Let's see what spirit guides, okay? Okay, one's fallen on the floor. This is always a good sign, people. Oof. Put that there. I'll pick it up and show it to you in a sec. Put that one there. Oof, I want to know about that one. I want to know about that one, and I'll tell you why in a sec. Queen of Wands. Those of you that have watched me for a while know why I want to know about that one. Right, let's push all these bad boys up a little bit, as the actress said to the bishop, just so we can get all the cards in and we can see what we're dealing with here. Let's have a look at these 3 shadow cards. We've got the Hierophant, we've got the World, and we have the Queen of Wands. The Hierophant is interesting because it's about beliefs. And the Knight of Cups and divine timing and the belief of soulmate recognition and the suppression of this belief. This is about someone's spiritual path, their higher self, connecting with what the divine timing is. If you see divine timing, if you had it as a visual and you see it as kind of a track, you know, like there are 2 tracks and it's just like this. This is someone slipping off the tracks. This is a very destined relationship. It's different to number 1 and number 2 in that way. This has this sense of destiny, this sense of calling, a sense of destination. And yet somebody, if you can imagine they were a sat-nav, you know when you're using your sat-nav and it just for some unknown reason just starts like resetting and then showing you a green field. I don't know if this just happens in the UK. And you're like, WTF, you know, why are you taking me to a green field? So there's somebody off-roading here. There's somebody losing their way. Okay, that's the shadow side of this. They're losing their way and they're protecting themselves, which is a very natural thing to do if you're feeling lost. For the 5 of Cups, we've got the World. This is the cycle of it. There's something here. It says, what aspects of myself am I ready to embrace? As this person embraces this soulmate recognition, or in a way, like we said, there's 2 different meanings to admit Admit it as in this is the truth, and admit it as in let something in. And I mean both. As they seek to do that, as they almost uncontrollably find themselves doing that, they also find themselves just kind of taken down by it, sad with the recognition of it. And I know that seems weird because they should be like happy. And they are happy in one sense, but they're also very scared and afraid. And in their experience, this is the way things go down. You get very close to somebody and then you lose them. For this card, which is the interference card, and the Five of Swords, which is an interrupter card, we get the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands can be, and I need to take a couple more cards on it to find out, can be competition. And we need to know. So I'm going to use a different deck. I'm going to use this one. Tell me more, please, about the Queen of Wands. Competition or strength? Because it can mean two things. It can mean corralling your diva energy, or it can mean outside threat. Okay, we get the Eight of Wands. The Hermit. Strong cards. Let's unpack them for a sec. Okay, I'm not getting like alarming red flag, but it does give me pause. So for the Queen of Wands, which is interference, we get the Eight of Wands, which is talking to somebody, communicating with somebody, communication between parties, talking, emailing, texting, phoning, you know, whatever. We also get the Hermit, which is somebody who has kept themselves separate and is also considering their response, thinking. And then in the background, and this is one of my favourite Three of Swords, we get the Three of Swords, which is this lovely, it's not, well, I suppose lovely is the wrong word, but it's very mendable, you know. It's like a teddy bear that your mum has darned every time it broke, and now you've got this scrappy, ratty, lovely kind of remnant of a bear, you know. You both have broken hearts, which is an interesting thing for me to pick up. You both have broken hearts, maybe for different reasons, maybe from past relationship, maybe from things in childhood, whatever. You both have broken hearts, but you're both very good at mending them. And you know, I feel a great pull towards this sateen heart with all these deep grooves that's had so much mending and so much care taken over it. And I would say that in a lot of circumstances, how we repair things is the real mark of a good human, not whether they get broken or not, because they do. You know, this is spirit living a life in a human body. We experience the things that you've experienced, number three, which are kind of coming through to me here. Not very clearly, admittedly, but they are coming through. Tell me a bit about your person, please. Tell me a bit about the other person. I feel that the trail or the track between you and this person is fairly clear, but I feel like it's a bit like, and this is interesting, is it Indiana Jones? You know, when you get like that sort of railway thing that's like a bucket cart thing on a railway, and it kind of goes around, and then there's those like stone balls that kind of get thrown at it and you have to hop over it, you know, a bit like a computer game where you have to oh my lord, where you have to make it over each object. When I ask about your person, I'm getting three queens. I get the Queen of Pentacles, I get the Queen of Swords, I get that Queen of Wands again. I need to take one more card on this, and I'm going to. Tell me a bit more, please. Okay, let's do a big girl shuffle. Tell me a bit more. It's that one. There he is, Page of Cups. Do you remember we talked about that coming up earlier on? And what's at the bottom? Okay, good. The Four of Pentacles. This person has had a lot of feminine energy in their lives. They may feel more comfortable with women than men. This person has many faces to them and many sides to them. And also we've got the Queen of Pentacles, which is slowness and sureness and earthiness. We've got the Queen of Swords, which is preciseness, intelligence, detachment. And we've got the Queen of Wands, which is fiery. This person is very influenced either by their mother or by an ex-relationship. For a few of you, they may still be talking. I don't have the cards to support that, you know, that support that they're still talking to someone or that someone still has room in their head. But if you think that's the case, we do have two Queen of Wands in this. And we do have a lot of queens in the picture. So you will know that, though, if it's the case. This is not something secret. These three queens come to the page. And do you remember we talked about how the page has not yet done what the knight has done, you know, get it together and elevated things to another level. But they're getting ready to make some kind of offering. It may be small, but it's a start. It can be an apology. It can be a text message, not a long one. You know, a real sort of just checking in type text message. It can be asking you out on a date, but in a very understated way. It can be appearing on your social media. It can be, it's these small things. But I like it. But it's taking its time. There are a lot of sides to this person. And sometimes I feel like I can feel a certain shape-shifting vibe here. I don't dislike it, but it is a bit confusing, and you may have been confused by them showing up in different ways at different times. And I think they are a little confused by that as well. I'm going to take one more card and then I'm going to go into the extended reading. In the extended reading, I'm going to look at your energy and their energy, okay, side by side. But I'm also going to look at, I'm going to channel a lot, I think. I'm going to channel messages from your person, but I'm also going to channel what's in the way of what should be a fairly simple run to your destination, okay? What's stopping you getting there? Yeah, exactly this. Why does it feel so difficult? Okay? If you want the extended or all three of the extendeds for the discount, they are in the description box and you can click the link there. See you on the other side. Namaste.